What's up, investors? Just starting out the live stream. I'm gonna wait for a couple people to come in. Hope that the audio is correct. Got my headphones in. I wanted to continue to talk a little bit about some of the space stocks and the space industry. Really looking forward to it. Really excited. I actually just recorded a video for ticker symbol GILT. Make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We talk about volatile stocks, been on a run. Caught some big ones like ticker symbol ZOM, FRSX, BNGO. I mean, we were there early in all of those. So if you just got on that live stream, make sure you smash that like button. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Bitcoin. I wanted to talk a little bit about the space industry, and I wanted to talk about some stocks that I've been looking at, some stocks that I think could be undervalued, and then take some questions, comments, whatever it is that you guys want to talk about. First, everybody could hear me fine, I'm assuming. Yes. All right, everybody smash that like button. Everybody could hear me, right? Yes, great. Thank you. Hey, Sean, thank you for joining the live stream. Okay, so first, I'm just going to dive right into it. I wanted to talk about Bitcoin and some of the possibilities. Blockchain is great. Thank you, Ray. All right, guys, smash that like button. Smash that like button. The more likes that pile up, the more YouTube will promote this content to other viewers. So I really appreciate that, especially early on. We're going to just continue to talk about some space stocks, some opportunities that really are presenting themselves. This is an emerging market, estimated to be $1 trillion. And I'm looking into some of these companies. Hey, Sean, good. I'm glad you're on this one. Definitely. We could definitely talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I have Bitcoin on my mind. I have, some of these space stocks on my mind. I just recorded a video for ticker symbol GILT. Really interesting company, especially at this level. It got beaten down over a bad earnings. I think it was a little bit of an overreaction. I see a lot of good potential with that company. Pure Storage Gang, yes sir. PSTG. All right, come on, guys. Everybody start smashing that like button, man. Come on. I want to start getting some people in here. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. I'm gonna stick with Gilat. Stay tuned for that video. That video is going to be coming very shortly, possibly either later on tonight or tomorrow. Big opportunity, like I said, especially in military defense. They're doing some really, really incredible things with satellites, and they become vital. I found some of the partnerships with them really fascinating, and I'm going to continue to hunt those down. I think there's so much going on with technology, and like FRSX is another one. I really think there's a lot of value on the military end and in defense. And I hate to, you hate to think that way, but there is value there as investors. What happens to the market coming weeks? I don't know, man. I've been talking for the last couple of weeks and promoting, sound investing, fundamentals. It's been party time. I've been saying quite a few times, everybody's a genius in a bull market. Everybody's making a lot of money. Everything's working out. So nobody's really, had to suffer, major losses. Like, everybody's been right about everything. Everything is flying. But I have been promoting a little bit, pay attention. The party could be slowing down a little bit, and traditional investing or, stock picking is going to become important, especially researching. I believe in managing risk through research. I believe in, entrenching yourself into the research and really letting the research guide you, and, with that approach, it is time consuming. It does require effort, but I believe that's going to be the only way to sustain big gains. I think big gains are going to be there. I think, it's going to be a pretty good, next couple of weeks. DD will show the way. That's right. That's exactly my philosophy. That's exactly my message. That's exactly the kind of audience that I want to have and I want to promote. I know a lot of people, it's an impatient market overall, but I think patience will really pay off. And I think selecting some of these winners today and really doing your due diligence will really pay off down the road, because, swing trading is great. And 2x trades and 3x trades, they're fantastic. But really what the goal should be is finding some of these companies that could get you 20x, 30x, 40x down the road, over a long period of time. And that's kind of really what I'm really starting to focus on. I want to start to put together a portfolio. Technical difficulties. Is that right? Is everybody else okay? Long-term plays. That's right. And really focusing on getting some of the best companies right now. I think there's a lot of transitions, right? Incumbents are being disrupted everywhere, right? Across so many sectors. So there could be bubbles, right? And you should be aware of those, but also consider, like, when you pick the winners and you're going to pick and stay in some of these winners, there's still major gains. There's still major returns. It just may not be so short-sighted or so, instant gratification. FRSX. I'm a major bull on that company. I still hold my position. And what's exciting about FRSX to me is the fact that I always feel like these secondary products are what's driving it, right? Rail Vision, they had a big deal with a Japanese company, a multi-billion-dollar company with Rail Vision, and then a pilot program with a Japanese automaker. They didn't name which one. They didn't get specific. There's been rumors that it's Toyota, which is it would be a great opportunity for FRSX. But in reality, iNet Mobile is not what's attractive about FRSX. QuadSight's attractive, right? And QuadSight is what's bringing them partnerships with companies like NVIDIA and FLIR. So I'm big on that company, and I'm not willing to sell my shares until way down the road, until I know more, particularly about QuadSight and what it brings to the table. That partnership that they have with Elbit Systems is one also that I keep an eye on because it shows the value that this company could have in military and defense. Elbit Systems is a defense contractor. It's owned by ARK Invest. ARK Invest has been hammering these defense contractors like Lockheed Martin and Elbit Systems. If you've been paying attention, Kathy has been acquiring a lot of shares of those two companies. And FRSX kind of is involved, so that's exciting, considering it was just a penny stock just a short while ago. Crypto dealer catalysts and thoughts. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what is Foonware. I'm not familiar with it, so I can't really comment. Crypto is still kind of new to me. I really was fascinated and went through a period where blockchain was like all I was thinking about, and I got into some books and I watched some videos and I did my best to understand that technology has so much potential and can transform the world. A decentralized world sounds very exciting. It could put you in a place where you could monetize so much. And I really hope that's what we're headed towards. I really hope. I just don't know that people would be willing to relinquish so much power and allow blockchain to really flourish. So its full possibilities and potential. With that being said, Bitcoin is in a great position. I love Bitcoin. I like when I hear stuff like BlackRock is dabbling in Bitcoin. They're going for $53,000 a coin, but they're dabbling in Bitcoin. They're buying Bitcoin. A lot of these companies are. I've been reading. Taking a look at this. I've been reading, and then Morgan Stanley and a lot of these big companies and big banks even are starting to open their eyes to the possibilities of Bitcoin, especially in international business. It makes things very, very, simple, much easier than the current way. And then, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once everybody really understands what blockchain and Bitcoin bring to the table, I just see crazy potential. SSFT, I have a little bit, not enough though. I really like to know exactly what it is that you're attracted to about that company. What exactly is the growth driver? What is the moat that you see? I had a hard time identifying it. But if you could just point me in the right direction, that would be great. Also, and I'm not familiar with KULR or SGSI. A couple of other thoughts, couple other space industry companies that I started to peek into today with Space Mob. I believe that's ticker symbol NGA. I'm going to pass on that one. But again, I don't know if I'm missing something. Please, somebody drop in the comments what exactly is the moat. What am I missing? Why are they better suited than some of the other companies? I noticed that they just painted in the investor presentation. Space Mob just painted it as it's a $1 trillion market opportunity, and they're just going to get X amount market share, and I just really couldn't pinpoint exactly what the moat was or why they were going to get that. So I would really like to understand. So if I'm missing something about NGA, please drop a comment. A couple other things I wanted to talk about was Astra. The more I look into Astra looks really good. GILT looks really good. Really attractive partnerships, especially in urban air mobility. Make sure you guys check that video out when it comes out. I think you're really going to like it. In SGSI is a 5G play. Okay, I heard you mention Astra in the first few minutes of the morning stream. I thought I read somewhere that was possible buyout merger with someone. Yes, it's a SPAC. It's currently a SPAC with Holicity. It'll be merging sometime in Q2 of this year. Big opportunity. Astra is going to have close to $500 million in cash after the merger. That could really help them scale. They're in a pretty good position. Obviously, SpaceX, that's SpaceX's industry. If I could buy SpaceX, I wouldn't be talking about Astra. I wouldn't even be interested in Astra. But because, SpaceX is not available, as of right now, this is the first pure space play, like rocket space play. So it presents a pretty interesting opportunity. Holicity, yes, ticker symbol HOL. If you just got in the live stream, make sure you guys smash that like button. It really goes a long way. I appreciate you guys joining me. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Yeah, Holicity. Another company that I started to look into, I don't know if you just heard was Space Mob. I think that's ticker symbol NGA. And, again, if anybody can clarify in the comments or identify what their mode is, I would appreciate that, because I as is, I passed on it. But again, that doesn't mean I'm wrong often, and that doesn't mean much. Yes. I'd also like to talk about Zomedica has some things coming up. Is there any Zomedica investors in the live stream? Yes. Another thing too with a lot of these 5G plays and the whole connectivity thing, in with planes. I also noticed that Gilead was ticker symbol GILT, had some really cool partnerships. One with Airbus, with Honeywell, with Boeing, and I know that those companies are really involved in the whole electric vertical takeoff and landing. The whole technology. Those are some of the bigger investors in that market. So to see integration with ticker symbol GILT and those companies, I think is a fantastic sign and a fantastic indicator. I'm really excited about the opportunity that presents. Trevena, I traded Trevena a few months ago on their FDA approval. It was a little underwhelming. If I remember correctly, they had a pretty good distributor for their drug. So once those earnings start to rack up, I think there is some potential there for Trevena. I'm not sure what its current market cap sits at, but there is definitely value once some of these earnings come. Yes, yes. Also, GSAT, that company, I would like to keep an eye on. You should have your expectations set realistically. You got to understand that a lot of these companies that fly have market caps. I know people look at the share price and focus mainly and solely on the share price, but really what you should be looking at is the market cap. And with a company like GSAT, there will need for it to fly. Because it is like a $4 billion market cap or $3 billion market cap. Because there's so many shares. I believe that there's like 1 billion shares in float. So the float's really high with a company like that. So when you hear $2 a share, you'll be under the impression that it's, this tiny little company that's ready to fly on news. And that just may not be the case. I certainly, and when I'm looking for a company like that, I'm looking for nano caps or micro caps that news is really going to move the needle. That's how I'm looking for my penny stocks. My most recent penny entry and why. The last company I played was Impiction. I made a video about it. That was the last penny stock I got into. Did pretty well. We were up over 100%. Now it's pulled back into the back down to like 180. But I do actually like that company long term as well. I think it has some pretty interesting prospects. If you want to go back and watch that video, it pretty much tells you exactly why and what I expect from that trade. Hey, brother, good day. Hope all is well. You too, from Evelad. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining the live stream. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Yeah, you missed the stream, John. No, I don't think that it's too late with ticker symbol ZOM. When you look at the assays, they have 3 assays in the pipeline, okay? And their partnerships as well are really interesting. Like, for example, they're working on a canine cancer liquid with a company called Celsi. Celsi is a subsidiary of Biorad. That makes me think that there's some promise with that product. That product could possibly be pretty good. They also have assays with cats, felines with UTIs, thyroid and adrenal gland. So they have some other products in the pipeline. They aren't solely just banking on Truforma. Truforma is just the first, and it's probably the most exciting up to this point, especially because it's its first of its kind. It's the first diagnostic system at the point of care for vets. So it is kind of exciting. I don't think it's too late. We're going to probably hear pre-sales in their next earning on February the 24th. We probably have an idea. I really like the fact that they named their distributor, and the distributor was a pretty well-known veterinary distributor. So I expect them to do well. So no, my question is, I don't think it's too late if you're willing to hold. If you're going to have it, if you're going to grab it at up this high and it dips a little bit and you're going to sell, then yeah, it's too late. But if you could hold on to this, until April, May, June, possibly, if need be, Truforma and the product with Cuervo is just the beginning. This guy's picks are on point and he's down the earth straight shooter. Thank you for saying that, man. And thank you, both of you guys. Thank you for saying that. Sepler and Promevolet, I appreciate it. If you guys just got into the live stream, please smash that like button. We're talking stocks, man. Let's talk stocks. I'm taking questions, giving my opinions, whatever you guys want to do. It's Sunday night. I'll probably hang out for another 20 minutes or a half hour. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button. My thoughts on crypto mining. Hi, Mara. Right. Well, quite a few months back, if you go back, Mara was a stock I was pretty big on. It was it's about 3 months ago now at this point. I discussed in that video buying leaps for 2023. I thought they were cheap, and considering some of the projections Bitcoin was getting, you got to remember and rewind back a little bit. Bitcoin wasn't like Tesla wasn't in it yet. It was just like right after PayPal had accepted crypto and Bitcoin with some of their merchants. I had said, I expect 2021 to be a very big year for Bitcoin, and I presented a video on Mara, and in the video I had said, I'm buying call options for January of 2023 with a $10 strike price. I bought a few of those. I have sold some since in secured profits, but I still am in possession of a couple of call options for ticker symbol MARA that expire in January 2023 with a $10 strike price. So that I'm excited about that. And with that being said, I haven't hunted for any more mining plays since then. So you're asking me about Hive and Riot and some of these other companies, and I just don't know about them because I feel like I mean I crushed my mining play. I mean I wasn't really looking for another one. The future Mara and Riot are done. HUD is huge, and ETH, yes. That's something that I would definitely look into. I love Ethereum. I don't know if you guys, is anybody versed in Ethereum or understand how the platform works and its potential, blockchain potential with, if you really start thinking about what could be tokenized and put on Ethereum, and you could run these decentralized apps. I mean, Ethereum has incredible potential. You got you mining play. Thank you. Yeah, man, definitely. Thank you. So there's incredible potential for Ethereum. I could see a scenario where one of these real estate companies, Zillow, Open Door, Redfin, one of these companies try to tokenize their real estate assets in some way, and either do it with Ethereum or something like Ethereum, maybe on their own. I think that would be really cool, and I think that would be a big opportunity. So I'm definitely looking out for that. I do own Open Door. That is my real estate play. I am holding it long. I have content about it. I got in pretty early, so I'm up on the position. So it's easy for me to talk about Open Door. I'm up over 100%, but I'm still an Open Door bull. I'm going to be definitely keeping my eye on how things transpire over the next few months, few years. Really, really exciting and fascinating. Yes, exactly. Mortgages, insurance, and contracts. Sean, that's exactly what I mean. And that's why I'm looking for one of the real estate companies to either do it with Ethereum or make their own blockchain and tokenize it. It would be great if they used Ethereum, because honestly, nobody's better. And the bigger the network, the more secure. That I don't know if they would be able to make a secure, decentralized network to tokenize it and run their apps off of, because I don't think it would be secure. The reason Bitcoin and the reason Ethereum's networks are the most secure is because they're the biggest, and the bigger they get, the more secure they get, which is why the technology is so brilliant and so impressive. Thoughts on Sundial? I already took profits and thinking to dip and back in because of their cash. I don't know much about. Somebody just asked about Sundial, which is ticker symbol SNDL. I discussed this last week on my live stream, and my thoughts pretty much on Sundial were the best case scenario. If I was buying that company, I'm hoping for a buyout. I'm hoping for somebody to come along and buy it, right? I'm hoping for Canopy Growth or Aurora or one of these big cannabis companies to come along and acquire Sundial. With that being said, so I'm thinking, what's there? 2-3x potential. I feel like I could find that somewhere else, something I understand a little better, something I could at least get an investor presentation on. Sundial doesn't even have that. I can't get an investor presentation to try to understand the company. So, and their website is not that functional. So it's a really tough company to research and read about. So I personally have shied away from it, but that doesn't mean that there's not value. There's certainly value. People have done really well on it, right? So OZOP, I did not get a chance. Now that you're bringing it up, it just hit me that this stock got brought up a couple of times. I definitely will look into ticker symbol OZOP. For next week, I'll be able to discuss it a little bit. I'm putting it down right now to talk about, to look into and learn about. It's but in all fairness, a lot of people bring up a lot of stocks. The best way that I could say it is, if you can maybe identify a moat in like a line or two, or tell me what it is that you like or what you're attracted to, or give me the growth driver. Like when you say, yo, check out this stock, and then you're going to rattle off a ticker. Just briefly tell me what the mode is, what it is that you like, and what is the growth driver, because that can help me at least screen through some of the ones that I hear about. Hey man, do you ever perform major trade? Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem revealing my portfolio in its entirety. And in all honesty too, like I really do want to help. I would love to have an audience, just a few people, a nice small audience, a core audience where everybody wins, right? Like something that's fair for everybody, where I can help add value somehow. Believe it or not, I am a pretty organized trader. I do have a pretty good system, for myself. And I think it could help a lot. I do think it could help, particularly new investors, but even older investors. I think, that I have a system that could help out. So what I do Patreon, definitely portfolio construction is super important. Especially like, I wouldn't want, like if I did have a Patreon, I wouldn't want, or, I expect anybody to just have a whole portfolio full of speculative trades. I would hope to have some, sensible investments, long-term investments, thinking long-term down the road. Tudes bought that 500 million shares in Nano. What's your price target for the end of the year? I think I had a model that had Nano at close to $25 per share by the end of this year. But now the way they issue shares, they issue so many shares. It's hard. It's kind of hard to determine share price. They just like double. They just added an absurd amount of shares again. So it's going to be hard to determine share price. I'm expecting that they're going to make a pretty big acquisition pretty soon. They're going to merge with somebody. And I'm assuming that's what all this capital is for. They were already in a good cash position. And then they issued another like 500 million shares, right? Like, so it was kind of like, but it's institutions, right? Their institutions are eating this up, and I don't blame them. To sustain life on Mars, 3D printing is the only way, right? If that's where we're headed, nano dimensions is a necessity. Make the scroll for alerts when you do an entry. Just an opinion. Thank you. I will definitely consider that. So when I make an entry, yeah, I'll definitely consider that. The problem with the Discord is I don't want, I don't have the time to tend to a lot. Like I would, not even that I'm saying that. I don't even know if a lot of people would want to sign up, but I would want to be able, if I took on a responsibility like that, I would feel obligated now. I'd feel responsible to, help and be hands-on and be accessible. Right. So I don't know how I could do that with a lot of people. So, I would want to keep the small group, and then at the end of the day too, my time is valuable. I do have a small business. I do this, so like everybody, I would like to work out, and I'm trying my best to come up with a way that everybody kind of wins. Everybody, where I can do okay and get what I need from it. And also, offer a service that really helps and provides value for everyone. Yeah, without alerts. Yeah, see, I don't want to sell alerts. I'm not a guru. I say that's actually the opposite of what my message is. My message is managing risk through research, that investing is for everyone. And we have access to the information. I'm actually totally against following along. So I couldn't buy and sell alerts and look myself in the mirror. You know what I mean? So, my message is quite the opposite of that. My message is, I want you to be able to invest. I want you to be able to pick stocks on your own. I want you to have your own system. None of these guys on YouTube know any better than anybody else. You know what I mean? Like this whole guru thing, like, oh man, I'm going to sell you what I'm doing. It's not a sustainable method. I'd much rather teach a person how to fish to eat for a lifetime. You give a person a fish to eat one time. I believe in the latter. So That's right, and I do, and if there's some kind of value with a small group, I don't know, I would love to do something like that. Work with a small group and more or less really focus on strategies and focus on steps to research, organization, trade ideas, that kind of stuff. Sure, I would love to do something like that with a small group. But as far as like a Discord, like where I would stand there and pretend like I know more than everybody else, and this is what I'm buying and why. I don't know. It's just like a whole. I don't know. I just don't buy it. It's nonsense, really. Thank you very much. I appreciate that as well. But again, though, and I do, and I hope that people watch this video, a year from now that aren't even investing yet, and I hope the channel's big at that point, and I hope people really follow this trend. That's the trend that I wanna set. That's the message that I have. That we could do this with research, man. It ain't rocket science. It takes effort. You got to know what you're looking for. So kind of like always being involved, constantly reading, constantly looking for ways. I love this entire process, man. I mean, this is the greatest thing ever. To come up with a strategy or a thesis and watch it unfold based on your own thoughts or ideas. It's great, man. It's a great feeling, especially for a creative person. Looking at the trends in the world, seeing if it applies to the market, and then to see when it does is very satisfying. It's a great feeling, and that's the kind of investing that I want to promote. I don't only want to encourage or promote, swing investing, momentum investing. I'm going to be trying to do lives from now on every Sunday. I do want to start to implement this more. I did it last weekend. I plan on doing it. I'm doing it today. I plan to continue to do live streams more and more. The more, to have an interactive channel too. I want to have a channel that can interact back and forth, where I know what's going on. I kind of view it like I have my finger on the pulse of the market. So, I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you also find value in what I'm bringing to the table. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I would love to do something like that. That would be great. Just throw a ticker and we all come back on said date with our DD and all present it. Yeah, stuff like that is priceless, especially when you could do it in a group, right? What stocks have I been doing DD on? What's my favorite sector? I've been looking at uranium plays for a long haul. Any thoughts on Sensonics? 2023 will be their year for glucose monitoring. Yeah, ticker symbol SENS. Big opportunity, I think. I actually do own some call options there. When a few weeks back, when they started getting some momentum, I jumped in the bandwagon. I thought that they really had a big opportunity, and they're innovative and special. And it's going to take some time, but I would consider myself a bull. I think there's a pretty big opportunity. Diabetic and glucose monitoring is a big market. It's growing. There's definitely going to be more attention there. Unfortunately, those numbers seem to be growing as well. So there's a need. So I definitely do see a big future, a big potential for them. For myself right now, I was discussing a little bit earlier that the space industry is a company that is a sector that I'm really focused on. I'm really fascinated in the space sector. I've been running through these companies the last couple of days, trying to find one that fits the criteria that I'm like, aha, I got it. This is it. This is going to be the winner. Unfortunately, it's SpaceX, right? And we don't have access to SpaceX. So. yeah. Thanks, Tariq. I appreciate it. Yes, and uranium plays are big as well. I'm looking at lithium plays. Seem to be a strong suit. I just talked about neodymium and MP materials previously. I like Westwater Resources, which is WWR. I'm looking for an opportunity to get in, maybe on some kind of pullback. It's a little bit overextended. So I don't know that I want to buy this high. We could be in some kind of correction. We could be in some kind of extended correction. So I also I want to make sure that I'm buying. I want to identify support before I take any new positions. Remember, higher highs, lower lows. So just because we had some red days is not a given that we're going to have a green week. I mean, this can go on for a little bit. So I don't want to just like dive in blind and buy the dip. I like to buy the dip too, but I also like to be cautious and keep the odds in my favor. So I'm definitely going to be looking for stocks finding some support too, finding the bottom. Exoskeleton for paraplegic robotics as a major pullback. What is the ticker? I would love to know the ticker on that one. Speaking of like robotics, one of the viewers had sent to me a pretty interesting opportunity with the limbs, which is really cool. I would really like to get back into that one and break it down. RWLK rewalk is exoskeleton for paraplegic robots manager pullback. Wow, is that right? What's their financials like? What do they have any moats, or is it just is it a prototype? Are they pre-revenue? Like I would have to find all that stuff out. But I love stuff like that. I love stuff that not only is a great business, has a great business model, and it's going to do well and bring revenue in, obviously being in an emerging market, but I'm also looking for a company that's changing the world, making the world a better place. There's a lot to be said with that, and doing things the right way, with morals, with integrity. Those are also the kind of companies that I want to focus on. So, Sensasonic is a great one. Bionanogenomics, what they're doing with cancer, could be a great one. And if the company that you just mentioned to me now, that could also be a great one too, because companies that are saving the world, saving people pain, are big companies. I really like that. I really like that. Yes, I am in on MP materials. I've been making content about MP materials. That was like one of the first videos I've ever made. I've made I mentioned them 2 or 3 times on my channel. I think it was like my second or third video if you wanted to go back. I've owned them since they were FVAC. I bought call options for March. That was my play with them. I've exercised a couple. I've taken some profits as well, but I'm holding most of the rest of that position long. I really want to get into, if you go to MP's investor presentation, you won't know really the true value or the potential for this company until they get into stage 3, which is where they're going to be producing, mining, processing neodymium and making magnets. I mean, they want to be a big provider of magnets, because magnets are in the center of the EV revolution, right? Like they're part of the EV engine. So neodymium and magnets are a necessity. It's a must. If this pandemic showed us one thing, it's that we cannot rely on another country to feed our people or for, in manufacturing and supplies. We need to be independent here, right? The first thing that keeps happening when there's conflict with China is China threatens to cut us off from rare earths. That's the first thing one of the first things they say. We're going to ban you from rare earths. We would be in big trouble if they did, considering 90% of rare earth minerals come from China. So having a company like MP, who's now the owner of Molycorp, or Molypass rather, having that mine, having that mountain is big, I think, and just where we're going with climate change, these minerals are needed in many ways for the military, for drones, for wind turbines, for cellular phones, computers. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, but my main thing is, and it's clear, they're clear in their investor presentation, is they want to produce magnets. They want to be like the go-to with neodymium for magnets, and that's a smart play. Very smart play. Very sharp leader. I really like the CEO. His name is James Litinsky. Really sharp guy. Chamath led the pipe. That was a little bit before, everybody else kind of caught on to like, hey man, follow Chamath. So I made out on that one pretty good. But now it's pretty known. Now it's known. Chamath is a respected investor. So that MP trade was pretty good. Pandemic was a huge window into how we invest moving forward. So still a good entry. If this dips, or is it too pricey? Now you see if the overall, depending on overall market conditions, right? Like I can tell you, no, I think there's still a lot of value for MP. But if the overall market continues on a downtrend, then MP is going to take a hit. It's a speculative play. It'll take a harder hit than most, right? Because a lot of it is speculation. So, you got to take what I say with a grain of salt, because I have a $15 average, right? So it's easy for me to tell you that, with a $15 average, that, there's still a lot of value in MP. If the overall market continues in a downtrend, then it's going to go down. But there is still a lot of value there, like I said, and we won't know the real potential and the real value until they get into their stage 3 of their plan, which is neodymium production and like being the magnet supplier. And again, there's a big unmet need. Chamath has also been talking a lot about a battery project of some kind. I expect IPOF to be a software company in the energy storage space. That's my expectation based on his Twitter, right? What he tweets, what he talks about in his podcast, and that kind of thing. I expect IPOD to be some kind of lithium or battery project, based on little hints that he's dropped. He's mentioned it in the Besties podcast quite a few times, talking about, this lithium project. 90% of lithium or 80% of lithium comes out of China. And he discusses this little project that he has on the side. Matter of fact, it was the main reason he said he didn't run for governor for whatever reason, was because he didn't want to withdraw from this battery project. Again, I'm totally speculating. I don't know what the project is, what it entails. I'm totally just speculating and saying that may be IPOD. Yes, I bought both. I buy both. One thing that you'll learn is I put a lot of focus on the leadership. I put a lot of focus on the leadership. When Chamath is involved, I get in. That's my bet on Chamath. I did it with IPOB and scored because he attached Open Door. So in theory, I got shares of Open Door at like $13 a share, right? Same concept with this. IPOC didn't work out so much, but that's fine. I don't mind, because I did great with Desktop Metal. I did great with Metro Mile. I did great with Chamath. Everything I've done with them. So whatever's going on with Clover Health certainly isn't enough for me to turn my back on them. I bet the jockey. I believe in Chamath Palihapitiya. Whatever it is that he attaches to IPOF or IPOD is certainly going to be more valuable than whatever its valuation is right now. You know what I mean? So I definitely take that bet the jockey approach. And again, like I said, I believe IPOF is going to be a software company in the energy storage sector. And I think IPOD is going to be a battery or a lithium project. So a lot of value there if you're considering these companies are $13 a share, $15 a share. So big opportunities with them. And that's okay, man. You don't have to. I believe in Chamath like that. Doesn't mean you have to. You could easily turn around and say, IPOC didn't turn out too good, right? So, it's not like he has a flawless track record. So where I could sit here and tell you, that this is surefire, this is a sure thing. It's not. It's a speculative way to invest. But it's worked out for me in the past. And then whenever he attaches a company, whenever he targets a company to IPOF or IPOD, I'm assuming there'll be an initial spike. If I do not like the company, upon that, I could exit the trade. My top 5 holdings, Pure Storage, it's ticker symbol PSTG, Roku, ticker symbol ROKU, Tesla, TSLA, PayPal is PYPL, and my number 5 holding is, I want to say my number 5 holding may be maybe Open Door. It may be. But I'd have to check at that. Yes, and leadership is the most important thing, especially for a growth investor. We're investing in young companies, right? And we're speculating an awful lot. It's hard to justify some of these valuations, right? In its current state, at its current market cap. So a lot of the growth investing is based on projections. So what can I predict? Can I predict the future? The best way to predict the future is to look at who's going to be making the decisions, who's steering the ship, right? That's the way that I view it. It should be the most important thing, right? And that's just my, humble opinion. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. It's up to you to do all your own research. It's ultimately, your decision. It's your money. The best thing that I can do is just tell you what I'm doing. I've had some success, especially over the last year. And this is how, man, I research. I focus on the research. I come up with crazy ideas. I write them down. I test them out, spreadsheets. I'm in investor presentations. I'm reading books. I cram this innovative crap in my skull 24/7 as much as I can to try to be informed. That's how much I believe in it. And managing risk with research. That is the name of the game. Identifying catalysts, spotting growth drivers. Unfortunately, they don't come highlighted. They don't come in quotations. They don't come in big bold letters. Like, this is it. You got to be a little bit of a hunter, right? And you got to go through the stuff. You got to go through the paperwork. You got to compare, and it does take time. It's tedious, but it can be done, and it's certainly worth it, especially, if you could catch some of these stocks early. Diving from DC to VA for you on the loudspeaker. My kids listening to you. Teach them early to give them a shout out for me. Names are Z and Swag. Hey, Z and Swag, thanks for watching. Make sure you listen to your dad or mom. I should even ask. I'm assuming Promevaled was a male. I mean, it could be a female. But Z and Swag, make sure you listen to your mom and dad, and make sure you get into the stock market early, and learn how to invest, research, like I'm promoting, like I'm saying, and again, this stuff is for everybody. Years ago, I literally used to think this was magic. I thought these guys were like magicians, man. Talking about, this and this stocks and trading and, oh my God, NASDAQ. What the hell are they talking about? I didn't know anything. I was so intimidated by it. And when I got myself involved and entrenched and started having some success, I started to realize, this is the answer to inequality. This is the answer out of the middle class. This is the vehicle, and we have access to all the information. All the information. And the more that I from creating content as well. Like, I get some people that reach out to me, and experts, if you will. People who've worked in the industry and worked around these industries, and it's pretty much everybody's guessing. Everybody's collecting the same information and trying to project, so it's for everybody, you know what I mean? And nobody can really tell you that you're right or wrong except for the market, except for time, which is really the most beautiful thing about the whole process. Is it's like the ultimate test of truth, right? I don't have a hydrogen play, and I don't know that many hydrogen companies. I'm open to learning about some. If you have some suggestions, that would be fantastic. But as of right now, I don't have any hydrogen plays in my portfolio. Dang, hydrogen DD, yes. That's kind of how I work it too. I have my EV play. Right now I'm hunting down my space play. If I decide on one, possibly two, but ultimately my overall goal is to build a portfolio that's going to outperform the S&P 500 over 10 years. When on my 45th or 50th birthday, whatever, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I want to look back and say, wow, man, look, man, I had Pure Storage, I had PayPal, I had, Tesla. I had these companies, back in 2020, and now I'm, a millionaire. And that's my hopes. That's my dream. And I hope that's how it plays out. But that's what I'm trying to do. But a lot of it is my vision long term. I did take advantage of the party that's been going on. You could go back and look at the work. We got in BNGO. I'm pretty sure I'm one of the first people I ever talked about. It was 50 cents when we talked about it. I know people made a lot of money on that one. FRSX, we got in that one under $1. A lot of people made a lot of money on that. Ticker symbol MARA, we got in there at $3. It's a $50 stock today. So what I'm saying to you is the research is there, and it's there. It's ripe for the taking. And I did my best to try to take advantage of that. I built some really good positions in some really good companies. And if you look at some of the playlists on my channel, you'll see Pure Storage, ticker symbol PSTG. I'm wildly bullish on that company. I built myself a position that hopefully can change my life. But I did my homework. I worked very hard on that. I tried my best to understand the products and really get an understanding to know what's going on here, to make a projection, right? To acquire all the data to make the best possible guess that I could. This man's half my portfolio. Yeah, I wish, man. I wish. No, and honestly, and again, I have nothing to do with that. That's always up to you guys. Ultimately, I'm going to present information, but if you actually put your money into it, then you don't owe me anything, right? Like I'm just doing the best I can. Yeah, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it, and I appreciate having you guys here on the channel. Make sure you guys, give me a shout out on social media. I'd really like to grow the channel, grow the reputation, and that's kind of like how things go with organic growth. So don't be afraid to tell a friend, tell a coworker, tell a family member, push them through to the channel. I'm getting ready to monetize. I'm ready to take the next step and grow and offer maybe some services on the side, and maybe start to make this my where I could dedicate more time to this. Because if I can dedicate more time to this, then I can definitely do more. I could take on people. I think I could add some value to a lot of people with my style of investing. And again, it's not a guru style where I'm selling you buy and sell alerts. I'm telling you, this is how we research stocks. There's a way that I think and systematically in a way that we can time after time put the odds in our favor. This isn't like once or twice. I have very little losses too. I mean, you go back through the work. I put my losses up against anybody. That's really where I think the difference is between me and a lot of these YouTube guys. Is I haven't missed many. I haven't missed really any. So everything's been relatively flat, and a lot of explosions. And I think that's a testament to the research. Again, I don't have a channel where I'm just firing out 10, 15 stocks every day, and then 3 of them go up, and then I talk about those 3. Oh, look, I got 3. What about the other 12? The other 12 went down, sideways. You never talk about those 12. You talk about the 3 that went 300%. But during a bull market, of course, that's what's going on. You got to have the same. You got to be able to stand by your losses. If you're going to sit there and sell buy and sell alerts to people, you better be able to stand by your losses. That's kind of my philosophy on the whole thing. And that's why I'd rather just teach you how to research, what to look for, and then also at the same time have the audience, teach me. I mean, how much I've learned from the audience too. I'm certainly a better investor because of, interactions like this. So I appreciate the audience, just as much. It's great to be able to have, instant perspective, right? Like I can only see things, hear things with my ears, my eyes, my perspective. To be able to have access to multiple perspectives pretty quickly is a great tool. And I appreciate that very much. So thank you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. I definitely don't want to be that. I'm trying to be a good person, and this investment style, I think, can change a lot of people's lives. I really do. I think there's power in that. I think that there's I mean, potentially we're talking about stuff that could change generations. I'm not talking about like, I used to work at Home Depot and now I trade stocks. I'm talking about like, I was in the middle class and now my kids, have, their kids are set up. That is powerful, man. That's powerful stuff. And, that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited. That's what's attracting me to this. And that's what's making me want to get this content out here and push it to people, brand new people that aren't even doing this yet. This should be for everybody. This should be for everyone. Your girlfriend, your mom, your aunt, your uncle, for everyone. You get nothing putting your money in a bank account. And you know what the banks do? The banks put it in stocks and investments with your money. So why aren't you doing it yourself? That's what I can't figure it out. And that's the message that I want to promote, that it can be done by normal people, just like me, just like you, just like everybody. And this is how we do it, right? And like you're touching on, Sean, the power in community, the power in tribe, right? The connection, the power in, in a unit, right? I talked about it on my last live stream. There's a fantastic quote by Sir Isaac Newton, and the quote reads, "If I had seen further than others, it is because I stood upon the shoulders of giants." And that's a fantastic quote when you think about it. It's like you're only as good as the people around you, right? The iron sharpens iron, that kind of thing, and it's important to have a team. And I would love to have that. And I'm starting to see a lot of the same names from last week, earlier this morning, today. And I think we're starting to get that here. And that really makes me happy. I feel like maybe we're building something. So I hope you guys keep coming back. I hope you're finding value in the content. And like I said, I hope you're sharing the content, letting people know, that something cool is going on here on this channel. And, and that's the number one way you could, if you feel like I've added value for you, that's the way you can help me add value for me. You put money in the banks. Yeah. Yeah. And again, and I understand it, maybe not for everybody, but again, power and community, again, not just following anybody blindly. I'm not familiar with ticker symbol FTI. Preston Bland has asked about ticker symbol FTI. I am not familiar with it. I will certainly look into it. But I have, if you can, again, guys, when you identify a moat, if you're going to drop a comment and like suggest I look into a stock, just identify a growth driver or a moat. So say, HEPA, like you just said, HEPA, and then like tell me what the moat is and tell me what the growth driver is. So it could help me identify what I should be looking into, because a lot of people ask me a lot of different stocks. I could never realistically look into all of them. I just could never do it. I don't have enough time. But if you did maybe state, here's their moat. By moat, I mean, what's their advantage? Why them over the next company in the sector? Why them over, that's basically what I mean by moat. Where is their advantage? Why do you like them better than the next company in the sector? And if you do that, at least maybe then I'll know what to take more seriously, what not. That's, a lot of insider buying. That's a huge thing for me. Usually another thing I talk about quite a bit about when I discuss growth stocks on this channel, I talk about the leadership, talk about having an innovative leader, having a board of directors that is really gonna be an asset in driving the company going forward. How are they going to execute that plan? How are they going to get to the market share that they're projecting? How are they going to get to the revenue that they say that they're going to get to? That's what they're telling you, right? That's all the numbers are in the investor presentation, their projections. But now the leadership is how they're getting there. So without strong leadership, How you getting there, right? So that's all you should be looking at. The number two thing that I'm looking at certainly is insider buying. What is the CEO doing? If you go back, I was talking about Nano Dimensions back in September, October. They were $2 a share. And I said with certainty, I said, Yav Stern bought $5 million worth of warrants. The CEO believes in this product. That is a great sign. And here we are, 6-8 months later. What are we, 10x, 12x? I mean, that was a pretty strong indicator, right? Insider buying is huge. CEOs don't want to put their salary on the line if they don't believe in the company. So when you see the CEO or the CFO or the front office buying up warrants, buying up shares, taking stock options, buying, they only buy for one reason. They sell stock for a million reasons, right? Especially insiders, taxes, this, that, the third. They only buy for one reason, because it's going up. That's what they think. So that's a good indicator. Definitely always looking at insider buying. I usually put that up there pretty high on my criteria. There's about 10 people in the live stream. I'm just going to put it out there. Website you could look at very, very simply is BAM SEC. Everything's in one central location. You get all the prospectus, proxies, insider buying, news. It's a good location. It's a good place to start your DD. It's usually where I decide, am I going to continue or am I stopping here? There's enough information usually right on that website. So check that out. CEOs being paid in stocks. I love that quote, but I think Sir Jack from 12th century. Bernard Shire Day, D&D, baby. Okay, maybe. I got it from Sir Isaac Newton, but you could be right. He certainly could have boosted that quote. CEO from U.S. gonna start with being paid in shares. What website? BAM SEC, BAMSEC.com. It has most of the stuff that you'll need to at least get started in your DD. I'm not saying that you could, complete your DD or complete your research on a stock right there. But you could certainly get started. The last couple of financials will be there. There'll be a section for news. There'll be a section for insider buying. You'll be able to at least identify a stock and say, you know what, I'm going to keep going with this one. No problem. No problem. I hope you find value. If you're still watching, please smash that like button and subscribe for future content. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes. So, share the content, let somebody know you're here, put it on Twitter, put it somewhere. I really want to grow this channel and I need your help. Organic growth is the only way to go about it. I'm approaching 3,000 subscribers. I want to get over 3,000. I want to get this channel monetized. I want to start getting some of the, some momentum that I think it deserves. Like I said, I would put the work up on this channel up against almost anybody's. As far as, the information and the research, right? Like maybe I'm not as technologically savvy as some of these guys. No, maybe my video content quality, the audio, maybe is not as good. But as far as my research style goes, there's not many people more rigorous that try harder and certainly that work harder and care more than I do. Yeah, definitely. That's where I start usually. I start there and go and usually decide whether I'm going to continue or not. But most of the information is there that in that location. It's nice and simple when I'm starting my DD, because normally I scan for stocks every day. I scan for stocks. I make a list of about 10 or 12 stocks per night, and you certainly can't do DD on 10, 12 stocks a day, right? So I go on BAM SEC, and with the criteria or the stocks that I scan for, I use BAM SEC to make a list of stocks that I'm going to continue researching and stocks that I throw away. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's a rigor, again, it's rigorous. It can be tiring. It's rigid. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. But that's basically the way. Yes, yeah, exactly. Sean, I use Finviz, and then I look for certain criteria, and I use various metrics. There's no right or wrong metrics. Have fun with it, right? Go on Finviz, go on the scanner, and play around, play around. Try this metric with that metric. My broker has a scanner, which I use as well. Excellent. Excellent. So, I play around with metrics. I make lists, bullish patterns, not so bullish patterns. And then out of the list, I'll start to look. And when I research, I decide, I ask myself, can I identify a catalyst, growth drivers, moats? And if I do, I dig a little deeper, and I've been talking about it quite a bit. This is why I really want people to follow me on Twitter. And again, I'm at MJF_invest, is because, I talk on my channel. I can only talk about so many stocks. It takes a little while to get a thought, a strategy, and then research and then get a video out. It takes time. So, there's a million trades that I make that I'm looking at, that I'm interested in, that never get talked about on this channel, just for time constraints alone. But on Twitter, it takes 2 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. I'm tweeting, I tweet in an hour all day. So make sure you follow me on there as well. Vancouver, Canada, huh? What's funny is I made a video, a penny stock video a few months back, and I think I had 3 Canadian penny stocks, and Mogo was one of them. Ticker symbol MOGO, which is actually doing really well now. And Bitcoin was a big growth driver for that one, if I remember correctly. I talked about that one quite a few months ago. And there was another one on that same video, another Canadian penny stock. I just can't quite remember exactly which one. It's like Mogo. Is it Aero? Is Aero from Canada as well? AYRO? If somebody could clarify, that'd be great. I might be totally wrong, though. All right, everybody, make sure you guys smash that like button. That stuff really helps. I'd like to get some more viewers in here before I get out of here. No, not Argo. Aero, AYRO. Thank you, Clay Peter. Thank you for joining the live stream. Again, guys, make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. And again, coworkers, family members, girlfriends, boy, whatever it is, send somebody to the channel. I'd really like to start growing this audience, and and stay tuned too. I'm going to start doing more stuff. Patreon is going to be coming very soon. I'm going to be more hands-on, that kind of stuff. And I really want to have a nice interactive audience, man. Donate, huh? I think once I become monetized, I'm not sure. I should be monetized pretty soon. I'm getting close to monetization. I think once I'm monetized, I probably could start to do stuff like that, and then at that point, I do hope, that's, I hope I added value somewhere to somebody, and that would be nice if people did donate, but never pressure, I'm not in it for that. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you spending the Sunday night in the live stream. Had a good time. Make sure you're back next Sunday. That's great. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Okay, in Texas. Then it was a different one. I might have been totally wrong. But there was a penny stock video. I think it was I had Mogo on, and I had another penny stock in there as well. But I had like 2 penny stocks that both did pretty well afterwards. It's quite a few months ago though. So what other YouTubers do you guys watch? That's maybe that could be an interesting conversation, right? What YouTubers do you guys watch? Any thoughts on CLIS price targets on Peter? My price target for Pure Storage by the end of 2021, I fully expected them to be sitting roughly at a $8 billion, $9 billion market cap, which would put them something like $43 to $45 a share. That's basically my expectations. I think next year, 2022, I think is going to be the big year. I believe that this is a 10x company. I believe that it's going to be, I'm looking at a $60 billion market cap hopefully next year, by next summer. which would put them over $100 a share or around $100 a share. I think Pure Storage has that kind of value, in 18 to 24 months. I've been hammering January call options for 2023 with $35 and $40 strike prices. I mean, I've been hammering them. I think they're cheap. I am a wild Pure Storage bull. Please watch my content. I have a playlist of about 5 or 6 videos. The last 3 I'm very proud of. The last 3 videos I did. My first 2, I was still a new content creator. I stand by the information, and my instincts were in the right place, but it just didn't really do the justice that it deserved. But my last 3 Pure Storage videos, I'm very proud of. I think I did a pretty good job diving pretty deep into the product and covering, what the growth drivers were. Now again, that doesn't mean that you may see it the same way. You may not like the company. You may not be looking for a company in that sector, and that's totally fine. But just for me, in my opinion, it's a reopening play. It's a picks and shovels play. I believe data is the oil of the IoT. I think it's the data of that. I think it's the oil of that ecosystem. I think it's such an undervalued commodity. I do not think that people would be giving their data away freely to companies like Facebook and Google if everybody understood what is done with data and the value in data. And I mean, this is how companies make their products. This is how they understand their customers. The only way to do that is if you can organize your data and store your data, right? So Pure Storage is switching to a subscription model, a subscription service, storage as a service. It's going to be a necessity for companies, and I think the opportunity is huge. A huge opportunity with Pure Storage. Again, if you just got into this live stream, smash that like button and check out the playlist that I have of Pure Storage on my channel. I watch touchdown trades too. I don't know who touchdown trades. I will have to look into him or her. MSP, my boy, Monster Stock Picks. I also watch Monster. He's a friend of mine. Not a friend of mine. I don't know him like personally, but out of the content creators, I communicate with a few, on Twitter or on, in passing. And Monster is a very good guy. I have good experiences with him. He's been very nice to me, sending an audience over. If you guys just got into this live stream, smash that like button. We're talking about volatile stocks. I'm pitching Pure Storage right now, telling everybody that my playlist on my channel, Pure Storage, should be watched. Everybody should be considering this. If you're a growth investor, this is a big opportunity, guys. Big time opportunity. Could be, I would go as far as to say, once in a lifetime opportunity, possibly, to get a juggernaut computer company in its infancy. That's the kind of potential it has. It has the top NPS, which is Net Promoter Score, available. That's it, out of everything. And to put it into perspective, a company like Apple, we know what kind of reputation Apple has. Their Net Promoter Score is under 50. Pure Storage has a Net Promoter Score of 83.3. That's the number 1 Net Promoter Score that there is. That indicates superior products, clearly, not in their industry, in all industries. That's just period, which is incredible, an incredible opportunity as well. Also, the fact that ARK has them in 3 ETFs, right? ARKQ, ARKK, and ARKG. I could never connect that dot to why was Pure Storage a computer company in ARK Invest Genomics Fund. I could never connect that dot. Where was the dot? Oh, now I get it. I finally figured it out. And Pure Storage has paperwork, has a study, a case study on their website and under life sciences that discusses and talks about how FlashBlade, FlashStack, and Ari are the only products that work fast enough for genomics companies. It's the only product that works fast enough to work at the speeds and store genomics data. So think about that. This company is going to have an impact on the way and the future of medicine. I mean, that is so powerful, man, in so many sectors, robotics, genomics. I mean, just across the board. Let me reel it back. Somebody's going to have to bring me back down to earth about this company at some point, because as it stands, I'm wildly bullish. $50 billion total addressable market, as well as ARK Invest speculating that deep learning could add upwards of $3 trillion to the United States economy. Oof. Wow, it's a picks and shovels play if I've ever seen one. So, I could ram this down your throat all night. Let me move on to something else. What do I think about 23andMe merger? Coffeewood said they had a bunch of genetic data a while ago. They don't think she brought in yet. No, to my knowledge, ARK did not buy 23andMe. I'm also going to probably pass on that one. But again, that doesn't mean that there's not value. There's certainly going to be value. There's probably going to be money to be made. People probably will make money. But just for me, I'm going to pass on it right now because, I've been toning down some of my speculative trades. I have a couple of genomics plays already, and I don't think it's going to be like massive, like I need to be in it. So, I think I can find that kind of value in something I understand a little bit better. But if you understand the company, if you see value, that's all that matters, really. But I would be comparing it to some of its competitors. Like I'd want to know what is the margins, like what is their moats as well, what are their growth drivers. I would like to see if I could identify those before I invested, if I invested in that company. But as of now, I am not in it and don't plan on getting in it anytime soon. But I wish you lots of luck. Which penny stocks have the biggest potential, like FRSX? Impiction is the one that I could see the highest upside. It's risky. There's risk associated. It's speculative, right? But the penny stock that I see the highest upside with right now, for me, it's either ticker symbol CHEK or NIPX. I want to kind of get involved in CHEK. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I really like ticker symbol IMPX. I think that it holds a lot of value in a lot of different areas, a lot of different use cases. And I think it's an emerging market, a growing and total addressable market, as well as like some of the little niche products like the workplace readiness and that kind of stuff. Ricardo Sal, thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure you guys smash that like button when you get in here, please. Again, that kind of stuff goes a long way. I keep seeing people come in and out, but that like number is staying the same. So make sure you hit that like button. That kind of stuff really helps. ONTX, I am not familiar with that company. But again, it's something that I possibly need to look into or educate myself more on. But again, if you could just identify a moat for me in the comments, then I would know. Jivo, hey Mohammed, what's going on, man? I remember you. I remember that name. Thank you for joining the live stream. What do I think of SOS? Ricardo, I discussed that last week. A couple of people were mentioning it to me last week, and exactly what I feared happened. That it was going to be volatile, up and down. And I heard a couple instances where people bought it at $14 and then ended up selling it at $9. So that's what I feared. Do not get involved in these stocks if you don't know, if you can't hold through it. Stocks don't only go up. That's not true. Whoever told you that lied. Stocks, especially volatile stocks like that, they can be very risky. And it happened quite a bit during the week. SOS ran up to $14. People bought it and then ended up having to sell it at $9. So again, be very careful with these kind of like fluky type trades. There's a lot of value in the market, and with research and information, you could find 2x potential somewhere else. You don't need to do it that way. I promise you, if you watch enough of my videos and you're patient enough, I promise you that I will present an opportunity in my content that'll get you 2x potential or 3x potential. I promise it. Now, you have to decide which one that is. But these kind of crazy speculative trades like SOS, like wasn't SOS selling insurance a week ago? They were selling insurance. And then when they say, I'm gonna mine crypto, and then it shot up like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not necessarily my style of investing. I do like to hunt breakouts down, but there's certainly I like to think that there's a little bit more to it than that, you know. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so AMBL, I like that. See, that's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. AMBL, so Promivolets at MBL is a battery recycling, building for recycling being developed, now has government grants. Definitely sounds interesting. I'm going to put that one down right now as well. AMBL. AMBL, right? So Mara and Riot. Yes, I made content about Mara quite 3 months ago. I discussed call options. I talked about that already in this video. I have call options with a $10 strike price, $5 strike price for Mara, MARA. I made content 3 months. You can check the content. If you're new here, that's why you should hit that subscribe button. That's why you should be telling a friend and a coworker and a family member and a whatever. You should be promoting this content because we're doing research over here. We're doing DD and we're talking about big stocks and good stocks and volatile stocks and, you know, presenting good opportunities, man. Mara, we were there very early. BNGO, we were there at 50 cents. FRSX under $1. ZOM at 20 cents. CIDM at 60 cents. I mean, the list goes on and on. OGI was another one. Nano under $2. Aqua Bounty at $3. I mean, we found a lot of stocks early on this channel, and I think it's time that I think it's just starting to get some of the attention that it deserves. I'm proud of this work, and I'm asking the audience, help me out, start spreading the word, share the content, spread the love. Again, I think the work on this channel is as good as there is any's as far as the information and the content goes. Yes, people are better, like technically with the video quality and audio quality, sure, but I'm getting better at that as well. Just a couple months ago, I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't do anything like this. So, I think it's time now. There's enough work on the channel that and my reputation should be pretty good, I think. And I'm going to continue to work hard and bring good stocks to your attention and present opportunities. But mainly, when you watch these videos, I hope that you become a better investor on your own. And that's really what the idea of this channel is. I'm not a guru. I know no more than you know. We all have the same amount of information available to us. And that's what this channel is. This channel is a location for retail investors to come and get good, reliable information about growth stocks and growth investing. And that's what I want. That's what I want this to be. That's what I want my channel to be. And honestly, I need the audience to do it, obviously. And that's where I hope you guys find the value and promote the work, push the work out there. That's right. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. And that's kind of what I'm hoping, that people could like cut through like some of the stuff. I mean, I do try, I do add edits and I learned some stuff that I could learn, as far as like what the software goes and stuff. But at this point, I look around, I only have 3,000 subscribers. I have under 3,000 subscribers. I'm still not even monetized. I still don't even have the watch hours yet. With stocks like FRSX under $1, that's when we called it out. Mara at $3, ZOM at 20 cents, CIDM at 60 cents, BNGO at 50 cents. Yeah, I mean, you would think that I'd have a little bit more of an audience, but I guess it just hasn't been quite my time yet. But I am definitely hoping that it's soon. Thank you. Found me on StockTwits. Awesome, good. Yeah, and I post all my work on StockTwits. If you're on StockTwits, you should follow me on there as well. I like to talk. Make sure you identify yourself too, like on StockTwits, so I know that I'll link you together. And I also hope you follow me on Twitter. I'd love to bounce some ideas off you too sometimes, man. I really enjoy having you in here. Oh, thanks, man. It's really nice of you to say. Keep on keeping on. I get it with the kids together. We'll have some info for you on those next Sunday. Be safe and blessed. Mother, have a great day, and um, I'm. Thank you very much. Have a great night. I really appreciate you being part of the channel, Promivaled, and I hope you and your kids have a great night. Okay, good. Make sure you let me know it's you, like so I know it's you. This way we could bounce some ideas off each other and stuff. That'd be cool. If I don't know. If you just got in the live stream, make sure you smash that like button. Anybody got anything else that they want to talk about before I start wrapping it up? I have a good time on these live streams. I get to get going, and there's 10, 12, 15 people, anything in between, and popping in and out. So, as long as everybody's still having a good time, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. I know you are my twin. We need to pick a stock and look in it and check TSNP. You keep saying that. I definitely will. I'm going to TSNP. Why didn't I? TSNP. 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 Okay, a couple of those down. All right, make sure everybody hits that like button. Again, subscribe for future content. Let's talk stocks. Could have to look at my DD. I have to still look at TSMP. I have to really get into it. And again, what are the moats? Like, where do you see their advantages? Where do you think that? What makes you think why them over the other companies in the industry? That's really my main question. And again, if you're going to recommend a stock or ask me to look into a stock, just drop like a line or two. Just say, hey, this is where I think their advantage is. This is where, this is their growth driver. Just to help me identify and like screen out between some of the, some of the crazies and some of the, good stocks. It's hard to identify, and there's so many different, people. And everybody seems so cool and so smart. I'd love to look into all of them, but just the reality is I just don't have enough time in the day to look at all of that. And yeah, these headphones are wow, they really are. They really mess your ears up too. Soundproof. Tinsel Enterprises is a holding company which is started something in the supply installation of construction materials. Like what? Like lumber? Pulled it from Trading View. Like what kind of construction materials? Lumber? Yeah. Everybody in this live stream, please smash that like button. ASRT is another stock I talked about a couple of weeks ago. I got in there at about 64 cents. I talked about some call options. The reason that I liked that company was because they really started to trim up some of their senior debt. They paid off $10 million in senior debt, as well as they really shored up and made their company and organization more fluid and efficient. They said they were going to save something like $45 million annually. Don't quote me on that. They didn't exactly present how they're saving that money, but they did say they were saving that money in an SEC filing. It got on my radar. Then I started to look. Now they have till June as well. They have till June, I think it's 21st, to get compliance with NASDAQ. So I kind of knew that they had to get over $1 and that they were making themselves more attractive, either A, for a buyout, or they were looking to make or buy something else. And that's what I expect that they're going to use their cash for, that they're going to go ahead and purchase some kind of drug trial in the late stages, maybe stage 2 or stage 3, to their portfolio. So, at 60 cents at the time, I thought that there was some value there, and I took a shot. I am still bullish. I don't know that I would start a position because my price target was about $2.50 from the beginning. So if you're looking for a 2x trade, there's certainly still 2x potential there, but now there's risk associated, and that's really that's the name of the game, right? At 60 cents, or at half of this market cap, it was certainly attractive because my price target in my model was $2 and $2 like 250. So I don't know. I think I don't know. There's some risk associated now, so you may want to pass. I don't know that I would get in it today. TSMP is a share flow to $3 billion and a $4.8 billion market cap. Yeah, that's high. That means okay. Let me just give you an example now. I'm looking for companies under $1 billion. If I was looking for a growth stock, I'm looking for a growth stock or something that, let's say, has the potential to fly. That wouldn't be it. Do you know what I mean? Something that with a $5 billion market cap, it's going to take a lot for it to, it's going to take something for it to get moving. I would be looking for companies like 400 million, 500 million, like that. And those companies on news, low float, low market cap, micro cap, nano cap stocks, they may fly on news, right? So that's what you got to be looking at. Forget about the share price. People talked about GSAT in this video earlier on. They were talking about it's $2 a share. That is misleading at $2 a share. It has a $4 billion market cap. It's not a tiny little company. You know what I mean? The company that I just did, GILT, has a $600 million market cap. That's a tiny company, right? Do you get the difference? On news, that may fly. There's 55 million shares in circulation. That's it. Opposed to GSATs or GSAT has a billion shares in circulation. Literally a billion. That's it. Not that there's not value. There's certainly value, but it's going to take a lot. It's not going to go flying, on one piece of news. I passed on SOS. I was apprehensive, and I'm glad I was because it was so volatile during the week. That if you didn't have diamond hands or you bought in high, let's say $11, $12, $13, a lot of people ended up selling at $9, $8. So, and again, let's keep in perspective. Just 2 weeks ago, I think SOS was selling insurance, and it went up because now it's doing mining. Is that the gist of it? It's a Chinese company. Keep that in mind as well. I mean, a lot of shenanigans go on. In that part of the world, we're just keeping it real, right? You told me at $5, Holmes. You did. No, you did. But my point was though, yeah, but that was also the weekend, and it opened at like $9 or $10. But I'm saying I didn't get in at 14. I'm saying I know two people that I know personally that got in and sold at a loss though. And my point from the very beginning about SOS was don't get involved in it at all if you don't have the stomach for this kind of investing. And most people, even though they don't want to admit it, they don't have the stomach for this kind of investing. You know what I mean? It's like you're not most people, if you panic sell and panic sell often, this is not, you don't have the gut, you don't have the stomach for it. And that's okay. I don't know. I don't have the stomach for it. Not all the time. That's why I only invest in what I know, what I understand, companies that I have a conviction in, unless it's relatively small amounts of money. Tesla, if Tesla dropped, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine. If Tesla dropped down to $400 or $300, I would be ecstatic. I would load the boat. I would dive on it, pounce on it. I would borrow money, buy shit. I'd start a margin account to buy the whole nine. But I know Tesla. I understand Tesla. If you would panic sell, then you shouldn't be owning that company. That's what you have to be asking yourself that all the time. If this did 10%, this 15%, am I going to hold on to this? If the answer is no, don't buy the stock. Don't buy it. It's not for you. I mean, you know what I mean, though. I know people that would if Roku dropped to 300, people would sell. I know people would panic sell. I know they would. It's just the way it is. And if that's the kind of investor, you got to know. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to ask yourself, is this for me? I'm doing the same. Touching 380 after splitting up 780. I see it running soon. No, I don't think Tesla's going to dip. I was just using that as an example of a company that people, if you would panic sell Tesla, you know what I mean? Like, people have lost money on some good stocks because they don't know what they're holding, or they're taking advice from just the wrong person. You know. You know what, guys? I'm getting. Does anybody have any more questions? I would like to take one or two more questions before I wrap this up. I am going to release a video probably tomorrow night. I'm thinking, or tomorrow morning maybe. Stay tuned for ticker symbol. My research video about ticker symbol GILT. I haven't released one in minute issue, and yes, you're right, Gavin Ross. I guess I'm Gavin Ross. All right, I'll take it. Thank you, King Street Cafe. I hope everybody hit that like button, subscribe for future content, and again, please, everybody, pass the message along. Share the information on Twitter. Let people know something cool is going on over here. Really trying to grow the channel, really trying to expand and network. I'm thinking about some other opportunities too, possibly maybe starting some kind of podcast. I don't know if anybody be interested in seeing something like that. If I hunted down maybe some experts in particular fields and discussed it with them, or if we talked a little bit about, if I could at some point, hopefully get some CEOs on the channel, maybe even some other content creators at some point. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but it's certainly something that I've been thinking about, making some different kind of content, maybe a little more niche or specific, and maybe really starting to treat this like a real channel and doing some different things. I'm exploring some ideas, putting the information out there now. If you guys know of anybody that you'd like to see come on the channel, maybe for like a quick conversation or a podcast or an interview, drop a link, drop a comment, let them know too. Maybe we could get something going. Those are just things that I've been thinking about. Maybe doing some kind of live stream or some kind of live podcast, or I have an expert of some kind, maybe a tech expert, or maybe somebody who, maybe just another content creator, I don't know. All right. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Awesome. All right, well, I'm going to get ready to wrap this live stream up. I had a blast again. I had a great time last weekend, a great time this weekend doing the live streams. Definitely something I'm going to be looking to do on Sundays. Keep a lookout for my next video, which is going to be about ticker symbol GILT. I'm excited about that one. I'm certainly going to be looking to take a position on Monday morning if it's still at this price. Every reaction is an overreaction in the stock market. That's a philosophy I'm going by with this. This stock I hit hard. 20% dip. It dipped 20% on the bad earnings. And in all fairness, the earnings weren't even that bad. So I may get in. I'm going to probably swing the reversal and hold long. So, just to throw it out there how I'm going to play it, I may overbuy this week on Monday. First, though, I got to find support. That's first and foremost. If it dips below the 20 SMA right now, which is acting as support, the next support is down at $11.80. If for some reason this could dip that low, I'm going to load the boat, and happily. So keep that in mind when you're watching the content. And again, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your Sunday evening here. Please like and subscribe. And again, share the content. Thank you so much for watching. Let me just check it, everybody here. Yeah, man, I'll be there. Okay, cool. No more questions. Good luck, everybody. Have a great week. Let's make some money. Just waiting for one more question. I'll take one more. Anybody? All right, great. Everybody have a great week. Happy trading. Let's make some money. And next Sunday, let's say, I'm probably going to go live again. So keep a lookout for that. I'm going to try to make it a thing. Who knows? Maybe I get lucky. Maybe somebody will reach out and want to come on. I'd love to have a guest, particularly, hopefully, somebody of. I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew. Everybody have a great week. Talk to you guys soon. Make sure you DM me on Twitter so I know, so we could chat. Okay. All right. Take care, buddy. Have a great week, everybody.